ego? Are you speaking about, what is the thing? We meet so many people. We have to use quick judgments and who gets our time, who do you open up to, who do you not? And I think when it comes to building into a team, especially nowadays, you're coming into something that's well-oiled.
Yeah.
You're coming into a machine already. So you have to fit, not just with me, but you have to kind of fit with everybody. You have to know how to communicate the things you need to know how to communicate to. You have to, the ego is something that can get in a lot of people's way when joining a team and joining something that's already really established. And I think coming to a place of learning and listening is really important, and not taking things personally. I think, and then it's something to the people that's already been in the team to understand that there's going to be additions, and there is a process there's an onboarding, there's a thing that you have to bring people into the fold in a way to get the best out of them. So I think there's been those learning things along the way that really helped me identify people who that fit and work well within the circle, yeah, I think that's been my kind of process thus far. And then, I always want to create an environment where people want to be.
Yeah.
You're not here for a check.
Yeah.
You're here because you believe in what we're doing and what we want to do. And I'm pretty transparent about those things, So I think just being extremely transparent and forward with those things and know that there's nothing personal if this isn't it, Like I'm the best, I'm the guy that's always going to give you a great recommendation. You know what I mean? Like I want people to win.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I want people to win, and seeing somebody in their strengths, and being like, okay, I can use that. This would be helpful in this way. And if that works out, it works out. And if not, then man, I want to see you do well.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I remember years ago, I was listening to Eric Schmidt, who was the CEO of Google for a bit.
Yep.
And he was talking about how they were looking for smart creatives. And I love that they had two words that kind of summed up what they looked for. They looked for people who were smart creatives. And for me, it became humble champions. I was like, I want humble winners. I want the people who want to win and have that ambition, but are able to put their ego aside, because then we're going to speed up getting there, because the thing that slows you down from winning is ego. Like
1000%.
The thing that stops you from passing the ball is ego, or, bowing out and saying it's your turn is ego. And so, but you still have to have that champion mindset, because it isn't just about, oh yeah, no, you do your thing. Like, and that was a big thing. And then the other thing that worked for me was I was like, I need to work with people that I could go to breakfast, lunch, or dinner with if we didn't work together.
Yes, man,
like,
that's
do
good.
I actually want to go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner with this person? Because I probably will be when I'm traveling or on the road. That means I like spending time with them, which means I'm happy to coach them.
Yes.
And I'm happy to learn from them.
Exactly.
Whereas if I don't want to, and initially I was like that, I used to just hire people who were great at what they did, but we didn't really have chemistry. Like we couldn't hang out. And that wasn't because they were wrong. It was also because I wasn't aware.
Got you.
And then of course, the mission, the purpose is, that's core and central. And
because even for you, you're spending time from your family with, your team becomes your extended family. They
absolutely,
they are your family. You're eating, like I said, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like there's a part of you that, it has to feel like I'm getting a little bit of my family here. And if it's not that, it's really hard for me, and obviously you have a bigger company and there's employees and you're not going to be as personal with everybody within the company. You're not having breakfast, lunch or dinner with everybody. but there's a feeling of, I don't mind on a Sunday, everybody at my house watching the game, spending time. 'Cause that's when, not the 9 to 5 time to be creative or the 9 to 5 time to do the job. That's the extra mile. That's I had this idea and I was just thinking, we're looking at something together and this would be great. Though the best ideas sometimes come from those just hangout moments and those moments where you're just spending time with people that you work with. So yeah, I think that, you're right. That's really important.
Yeah, for sure. Before the obsession point that came up, which was fascinating, I'm glad I asked you that, and you went into it. You're talking about like, you live in an industry and you talked about social media where people have an opinion of you. People, even an opinion is like people have a lens because they've seen you in a particular light. And I was wondering, like, what do you think something that people get right about you and what's something that people sometimes get wrong about you? Like, what do you feel like when it comes to that? Like, I'll tell you mine. Like, I feel like for me, a lot of people think that I get like often because of what I teach and what I'm sharing and what I'm guiding, it's like, oh, well, Jay must get everything perfect all the time. And like, you know, he's like super deep and like always just saying profound things. And, and that's not true, obviously, because as much as that is who I am and that is my heart, I'm not always like that. Like I have bad days, I have bad moods, I have off days, I have days when I'm not feeling that way, right? And so that's something that people get wrong about me sometimes in that perception because but I'm dedicated to this work. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with being better, but that doesn't remove me from having flaws and weaknesses. And so, yeah.
You should do a blooper reel. you should do a blooper outtake reel of those moments. You have your team catch you in these little moments, and you should put one out. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
That would be fun. I think
run on it. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That would be a good one.
I like that.
I think for me, it's like, I think I've intentionally stayed out the way so much where I'm not giving anybody anything to go off of other than what I want you to know. You know, I think that's been it for a long time. I've always had the approach of like not speaking on things and not giving them life. You know, there's going to be perspectives and there's things about you that just aren't true. Do you care to correct somebody or not? You know, because most of the time people's minds are made up no matter what you say.
Totally.
It is what it's going to be. You know, stay out the comment section. You know what I mean? You get some great entertainment in there, but then you can get a lot of stuff that is just people who want to project the thing that's going to get the most attention. And the issue that I have with a lot of that is they can be completely false. And we have an industry of, we were talking earlier, the lack of journalism and the skill of that will run with those things, knowing that there is no basis to them. But now that's a narrative that's attached to you that you have to be strong enough and strong-minded enough to ignore, knowing it's not true, or this human nature feeling of wanting to, no, that's not true. I want people to know this about me. And I've always walked on that line of, you know, not caring, trying not to care, and knowing that I'm enough and knowing my truth. And the people who know me. You know, I am about my community and my people, you know, wholeheartedly. And a lot of the choices that I make and the things that I want to do and be a part of is in service of that bigger picture, you know, of helping that, you know, my community in a big way. So I think the biggest thing sometimes, if they ever feel like that they're not my top priority, is maybe one of the biggest misconceptions. You know, the love I have for my community, regardless of people's approach, I think everybody has a different strategy and approach to how they affect and make change. Everybody, it doesn't all look the same. And because it may not be typical or the average voice, because the package is different and the craft and my field is different. So I have a different set of boundaries that exist in my lane that I maneuver without, in and out of. Like I love playing chess. I love strategy. I love reverse engineering and building things. So I think that's one of the biggest things. And you know, sometimes ignorance and a laugh or a joke or a like or a thing, we've encouraged the behavior of negativity and things, and loudness is the thing, and that's just not what I'm into.
Yeah,
I'm into the love of things. I'm into the humanity and bringing people together the best way, but also I'm human.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I mean, I also think we've put a false pressure on the definition of authenticity, meaning you share everything with everyone. And I'm not sure I vibe with that definition, because I think authenticity by nature is you sharing what you feel comfortable with each person. Like that's what it means to be authentic. And you could argue that authentic just means being however you want to be in any given situation. And so I think there has become a false pressure of, oh, you got to show you're authentic by showing every part of yourself. And I don't know if that triggers anything for you. It's like, what's the definition of authenticity for you? Or for me, that's what it is. But what is it for you?
I think it's But then in hindsight, there's a piece of it that, not even just to go back, but there's also like, maybe that's my insecurity framing what the loudness of the things that I'm most sensitive of. Is this noise somehow?
Yeah, it triggers us for a reason.
You know what I'm saying?
There's some stuff that you just go, oh yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. But it's like, but it's some stuff that's just like, man, like why does that bother me so much?
Yep.
Like there's something about that because I know what that does in the bigger, like I'm always thinking bigger picture. It's very rarely that I really focus on the thing. It's always about what's the cause of that in a bigger conversation, you know? The authenticity to me is being able to sleep at night, being able to go talk to my mom and knowing that the people that know me, every fiber of my being, my intention, knows my heart through and through, that they see the same person. They're able to connect with the same energy and the same vibe and the same spirit. My energy has never changed. You know, I think being authentic to that frequency is super important to me. No matter where I go, no matter how I evolve, and have to mature and grow up, I want my energy to always feel the same. That's why when you meet certain people and it's been years that go by and you pick right back up where you left off, it feels like no time is lost. That energy is it's always the same. And I love when people I haven't seen in a long time or come at me like, man, whoa, it feels, it's the same. And that just lets me know that I'm not losing myself. I'm not losing track of, who I am.
Yes.
And where I come from. And I am always going to be an agent of change, Trojan horse or not. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just and continue to lead by example.
Yeah.
I know the path that I'm on isn't easy. Sometimes it may look easy, for the successes or whatever, but it's behind closed doors. I'm doing the work, so the future generations have it a little bit easier or have a little bit more tools to use. And they can ask for certain things that won't be like, what? It'd be almost standard for them, and, from my vantage point, I'm able to see a lot of the roadblocks that exist within systems, and paperwork and precedents. I've been chipping away at those where I can in places. And there's so many, look, I say I a lot in this interview. There's so many people out there that are doing that type of work, that exist, men and women in these places that are breaking down barriers, that are chipping away. It's like Shawshank Redemption, rock at a time, gravel at a time, eventually that hole's gonna be open, you know what I'm saying? Eventually it's gonna be open, but just chipping away. And unfortunately, everybody can't be the loudest one in the room, sometimes you gotta be the quiet guy in the room. You gotta listen and look and pay attention and move how you need to move. The chess pieces, they have different rules and different movements for a reason, and they're on the board in different places for a reason. And I know my place on the board.
I tried everything from my stubborn day.
See what art grade is talking about, man. Low key, I fucks with it. I love this shit. But it's stressful.
Oh, hell.
Damn, 2 people on?